All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. I'm BMillzebub, and welcome to my channel. For tonight's Apostate interview, I have the Bible Belt Atheist. So, Bible Belt, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your channel?
Well, right now I am currently working on a series. Gonna be doing episode number 8 tomorrow. It's a series reacting and responding to a 20 question and answer booklet from Catholic Answers about atheism. Uh, Tomorrow I will be doing, like I just said, I'll be doing episode 8 with Frustrated Atheist, and then the next one after that, which will be episode 9, will be with the Godless Iowan, and then episode 10, which will be March 10th. Kind of funny how the numbers worked out, but episode 10 will be with a special guest who I'm trying to work out with. So
Right
currently.
on, man.
But other than that, I do upload on Sundays and Wednesdays. And Wednesday uploads right now are varying due to homework because I'm still in school. I'm in senior in high school right now. So yeah, Wednesday uploads vary. And I also upload at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Right on, man. So why don't you tell us what your former religion is and a little bit about it?
Well, my former religion is several. Well, I should say one, but different denominations of the same. I pre directly previous to me becoming an atheist, I was a Catholic, Roman Catholic, and uh, really, as I've said before, because I've told this story many times before, but my whole bout with religion goes back all the way back to my birth, with my mother, who at that time was a part of a cult led by an Indian man, like the country, led by an Indian man whose name is Miraji. And I'm saying who's it is because he's still alive.
Hmm.
Um, and that cult is kind of like one of those cults of like where Miraji claims that he's Jesus, and tells you to kiss his feet and pray to him and stuff like that, and all that other stuff. And so she was a part of that for the first few years of my life. And then when I was about 3, 4, well, when I was 3, my dad, for reasons that I understand now as I'm older and almost a legal adult, I'll be 18 at the end of next month. But as I'm older now, I understand why. He walked out on us when I was 3 because at that time my mother was very mentally unstable, and he pretty much couldn't stand being with her anymore. She was very controlling, very manipulative. Again, at that time, she's gotten much better in the way of mental health over the years. But yeah, so that was when I was 3, and then when I was 4, when I was 4, um, and I'm just gonna say that the walking out on us actually did affect her really deeply. But I'm not gonna get into what exactly it was. But it wasn't good. And when I going on when I was 4, she was introduced to Christianity by one of her friends, and I can't remember what denomination it was that she first got introduced to, but she ended up liking it, went for weeks and weeks on end, and then when I was actually still 4. because this was only a few months later. Both of us ended up becoming Christians since, like I've said before, I was only 4 years old. I didn't really know the difference. So it was a really good example of get them while they're young.
Mm-hmm.
But then skipping over a few years to, well, wouldn't say a few years, but I think I was about 5 or 6. I was 5 when we moved. We moved out to a city that I actually live in now, which is about 45 minutes away from where I was born. Oh, wait, no, not the city I live in now. The city I lived in before. I'm getting confused. The city I lived in before was about 45 minutes away, and then we moved back to about 10 minutes away from 15 minutes away from where I was born. But anyways, when we lived out in that other city, we went to different denominations of churches. We went to, I know one of them was an Episcopal church, which is actually where I got baptized. And when I was, I think I was 7 when I got baptized, and that was interesting. Scared shitless whenever I was going in for the baptism, but yeah, we went around to different churches, and then when I was still 7, we ended up becoming Roman Catholics, and my mother went through RCIA. If you don't know what RCIA is, RCIA is for people who are adults who are wanting to come into the Catholic Church. It's a month-long program that adults go through. But we ended up doing that, or my mother ended up doing that, and then, like I said, when we were 7, or when I was 7, we ended up becoming Catholics, and then I think it was on, I want to say Holy Saturday, but I'm not exactly sure. It was either Holy Saturday or Easter Sunday, and ended up becoming Catholics, and then was very devoutly Catholic for several years, and then I think I was about 10 or so. Yeah, I was probably about 10 or 11 when I decided that I wanted to start altar serving. And, I did that for several months, probably close to a year, actually. And then I stopped doing it. But during that time when I was extremely, extremely devout, I actually ended up wanting to, once I graduated high school, I wanted to go into seminary to become a priest. And then I hoped that, and I think I've said this in one of my videos, if anybody's seen my channel or knows the video that I said this in, you can put it in the comments down below, or in the chat down below, but because I can't remember right off, but I had said that at that time, in the terms that I put it, that I hoped, again, in the terms I put it, that by the grace of God, that I would become the Pope one day. So that was where I was at when I was probably about 10, 11 years old. And then once, skipping up a couple of years to when I was about 7th grade, so I was about 13, is when I started to question I began to question the validity of the Catholic Church, of Catholic dogma, and then started asking the questions that, you shouldn't really be asking, or that they tell you shouldn't really be asking. So yeah, I started down that and really, quote unquote, testing God saying like, hey, God, if you're there, can you show me that you're there? Like in what I was looking for mainly was some sort of vision. I could have easily gone to somebody and said, hey, can you give me some weed and maybe I'll get some hallucination that way, and then that would have been my vision. But anyways, the after that, I started to really start doubting my faith, and after all of that, I was started on a about 6 to 8 month journey of what I call spiral confusion between polytheism, atheism, and agnosticism. And the polytheism or the form of polytheism that I associated with most was actually a form of Native American polytheism, with like the spirits of the ground and spirits of the sky and all these other different spirits and shit. After that, though, like I said, about 6 to 8 months, I ended up saying to myself that I'm an atheist. About, I don't know, it was probably about 14, 15. And then I started on that, that normal journey of becoming a new atheist, and, the anger and being a dickhead and shit. And, as I grow older now and, I'm more mature, I'm much more sound of mind with all of that. And I'm a hell of a lot more tolerant with certain things dealing with religion. So yeah, that's pretty much my story. I know I took over your channel for a little while, but
it's all right. It's your interview. You're actually kind of meant to do that.
Yeah.
So was there like a specific event that got you to start questioning it, or was it just sort of all the religion hopping that kind of happened?
Not really, because the religion hopping happened earlier in my life. Or I shouldn't really say religion hopping. It's more denomination hopping, because it was still within the same religion, Christianity. But I don't really remember if there was a certain event per se that sparked my skepticism. But yeah, I don't remember. Like I said, if there was any one true event that, like I said, sparked my skepticism and questioning of the Catholic Church.
All right. So what is it that actually got you to start making videos?
Well, I'd have to say probably a few people. And that is actually a few people that I have seen. I think I've been in one with one of them, but there was a few people actually that got me not really wanting to start making videos, because I didn't start wanting to make videos until this past summer, but which is right around the time when I started this channel. But I actually I had a few different people that helped me along, that I watched a lot whenever I was still doubting. And one of the biggest people was actually Godless Cranium. He was one of the big people that I watched whenever I was, I guess you could say, questioning my religion. Yeah, Godless Cranium was a big person that helped me in that. Let's see, Godless Cranium. See, who was another one? Telltale was another big one. The other one I'd have to say was Genetically Modified Skeptic. So those were the big three. When I was still questioning, and then I had other people that I watched as well, but those were the big three that I watched whenever I was still questioning, you know, where I was going to go in my theological mindset. So,
All right. So kind of as a really quick aside, in the chat, Insects Are Cool wanted to know where it is you're at in the Bible Belt. Like, don't get any more specific than state, but
yeah,
they're from Oklahoma, apparently.
Okay. Actually, the and I don't know why, but I don't actually have. I don't. Maybe if I change it to live chat. Oh, that's why, because they. I needed to scroll up. Yeah, but I'm actually not going to say right now where I live in the Bible Belt. I do plan on. I do plan on doing a reveal video of like a face reveal, name reveal, and at least a state reveal of where I live in the future, but that won't happen until probably early April. But I will say I do live. I'll give out 2 hints though. I do live in. Actually, no. One hint, because I mean the other one's kind of goes in with it. But the one hint that I will give is that I live in one of the states that was one of the original 13 colonies. So I'll give that much.
There you go. Everybody in the chat, start figuring that out. Just Google original 13 colonies, and you might get it.
Yeah, only one person is gonna get it first, but I'm not gonna say who gets it. I'm not gonna say who gets it, but if you guys watch my channel and pay attention to my channel for the beginning of April, probably the first week of April, you'll see which one of you is correct. So yeah, stick around on my channel and you'll see who's correct.
And you'll find a link to actually all of your relevant socials, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I did put your YouTube in here, right?
Let me check.
Shit, I did not.
Uh-oh.
Freaking genius. That actually is getting searched up right now. Okay. And I'll put it in the chat. And later on, I'll put it in the description where it belongs.
Yeah, youtube.com/thebiblebeltatheist. I actually have a custom URL, so it's easier to find me that way.
Yeah, I should have a custom URL too, but it never shows up when I do a search for myself.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's freaking weird. It still comes up with the string of numbers, so I'm gonna have to figure that out.
Yeah, because mine does too, but the only way that it'll come up with my custom URL is if I actually directly type it in. So it's weird.
It is weird. But actually, before I get into this next question, I am going to state that BBA and I are doing a really short series using the bite model to determine if the Catholic Church is a cult or not.
Yay.
So, with that in mind, is there any particular video or series of videos that you've done that you're most proud of?
Well, I've only got a few up, but I don't really know if there's a video that I've done that I'm most proud of that I have up right now, but I do have a plan, and I'm not going to say what the plan is for the video because I don't want somebody stealing the idea. But I do have a plan for a really hell of a good video. Hopefully to come out around next school year. So probably around September time is when I'm hoping to have it out. But again, I'm not going to say what it is because I don't really want anybody stealing the idea from me.
Right on. But how about videos that you've actually done and are already out on your channel? Is there one that you really kind of like above the rest?
Let me see. Let me go into YouTube Studio. Oh, just want to say thank you to Chrismer for subbing. I just got the notification. YouTube Studio. I do not want my personal account. I want the BB Atheist. Let's see. I mean, I've got a few of them that I really like. Other than the series that I'm doing right now, probably probably either oh, haha, Neil. I just got a notification on Twitter saying of Neil that tagged me in a tweet saying, well, apparently the BB Atheist can speak after all. Check it out. Very funny, Neil. Anyways, I think my top two favorites on my channel that I have out so far would have to be a tie between the banned Mormon cartoon that I reacted to and the Oily Bible video that I did. So.
All right. And I actually just put a link to your Catholic Answers Atheism playlist in the chat. So
all right,
go ahead and right-click that, everybody, open link in new tab, and give that a binge after we're done here. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I'm actually in the second one, so I might be a little biased. But all the same, how has your family reacted to you leaving religion behind?
Well, I can't really speak too much for my dad's side of the family because I don't really know very much about my dad's side of the family religiously and personally, because there's only a few people on my dad's side of the family that I actually know personally. But I'm gonna just say for my mother's side, since that's the side that I know the best. My mother, first and foremost, my mother is actually fine with it, happily, because she says that she's saddened by it, and she wishes that I wasn't an atheist, obviously. But you know, she's not gonna. She's not gonna. She's told me that she's not gonna shove religion down my throat. Um, but other than her, um, my my mom's side of the family is not very religious at all. My grandparents are both baptized, but they don't go to church. Um, my grandma prays, but it's, you know, um, my grandma, she's told me before that she'd like to go to church, but my grandpa doesn't want to go to church, so they don't go for that reason. Um, but after that, my grandma's brother, I actually don't talk to my grandma's brother that much. And religion has never really been brought up with him, between him and I, or about him. So I really don't know what he is religiously. And but as far as I know, he's never bashed me about being an atheist. Um, and then my grandpa's brother is actually um he's a part of that cult that my mother was a part of when I was born, but he's actually the tech person um for Mirage's live appearances. But he he knows that I'm an atheist, and he doesn't get on me religiously. So um yeah, like I said earlier, I can't really say too much about my dad's side of the family. um my dad's mother, who I call Mama, is she's part of the Eastern Star, which, if anybody doesn't know what the Eastern Star is, that's the female version of the Freemasons. Um, and then my dad's dad, who I called Pawpaw, he was a Freemason. He died of lymphoma back in the summer of 2016. But he was a Freemason. And then my great grandma, who died when I was 10, was a part of the Eastern Star as well. And then my uncle, my dad's sister's husband, he's a Catholic, but I don't know about my aunt or cousin, because my aunt and uncle have a kid. But I don't know about my aunt or cousin's religion, or religious views. And my dad is an atheist as well. So
All
yeah,
right.
that's about all I know with my family religiously.
All right. Um, and since you're, closer with your mom, for, the various different reasons you mentioned, mostly, I mean, living with her and being raised by her.
Yeah.
What does she think about your channel, or does she really know anything about it?
She actually doesn't even know that my channel exists.
All right.
I have thought about telling her. Um, I've thought about telling her about the channel, just to kind of because probably there's probably people in the chat that don't know um how I do this without her knowing. A lot of it actually happens to be that I do this whenever she's not home, like right now. But whenever I'm doing it with her home, I'm actually doing it in my closet in my bedroom, or one of my closets in my bedroom, which I'm actually doing it right now in one of my closets. But it's whenever I'm telling her, that I'm doing something related to this channel, I kind of give her a half story of, you know, what I'm doing, you know, like this morning, for example, my grandpa was going to come and see if I wanted to. He asked me yesterday if I wanted to go play racquetball today, and I had said that no, because I had this that I was doing, because they know about my mom's parents. They know about my channel. I've shown them a few of my videos, and um, so they know about my channel. But in the way of my mother, I kind of tell her, you know, hey, I told her this morning that, you know, I didn't want to go because I was having a chat with one of my atheist friends, and that was actually you. Whenever we were going to do the bite model, because we actually recorded the bite model video earlier today.
Part one.
Yeah, well, part one. But yeah, I told her that I was having a chat with one of my atheist friends, and that's where I left it, and she's took it as that. So yeah, I get around that with half stories.
Okay. So. What do your mom's parents think of it?
You know, my mom's parents are, you know, because they've told me before about with me being an atheist and having the atheist activist channel. You know, they've said that, you know, that they're a lot more tolerant of it. Well, I'm speaking more for my grandma, because my grandpa's not really said too much about it, but if anything about it, really. But my grandma, she's told me that they're really tolerant about it, because they can tolerate a lot more of the religious stuff than my mother can, because my mother's pretty damn sensitive whenever it comes to religion. But yeah, they're fine with it. You know, they're not like, whenever I've shown it to them, they're not like, hey, I don't really want to watch this. Or at least if they were there, they didn't say anything about it. But you know, they're like I've said, they're pretty tolerant about it, and they don't say anything. So
Right.
I actually showed them, or I was watching it with them. I was watching one of GI's live streams. I don't know if he's in the chat or not, but I showed him one of GI's live streams, the one when he was when Snarky was doing his makeup, and they were just laughing at it with me. So yeah,
it was pretty funny. So
yeah. Oh yeah, he's here. Okay, yeah, me and my grandparents watched that live stream. So yeah, I just saw him in the chat. He said he's here. So anyway.
Apparently Christmas can't help themselves. How deep in the closet are you? And have you found Narnia yet?
Actually, I'm very out. I'm very much out of the closet. I've got one of my shirts is the shirt that I put up a picture of it a while back from Element X Designs. The No Gods, No Masters t-shirt with the atheism symbol in the middle of it. And I've actually worn that shirt in PE several times. You know, I'm pretty sure everyone because the way that my my school is set up is one side of the school is the middle school and the other side is the high school. And, you know, I'm pretty sure damn near everyone, if not everyone, on the high school side of my school knows that I'm an atheist, and maybe knows about my channel. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that most of the people on the high school side know about know that about me being an atheist, because I've in class, and I've actually told, because this actually happened not too long ago. I was in class, and my math teacher, had said, hey, if you're not going to stand for the pledge, then I want you to get out of class while we say the pledge, and then you can come back in. And I looked her straight in the eyes and I said, no. And I told her, what you're trying to make me do is illegal and unconstitutional. And then she told me to go up to the office, and I sat up there, explained what happened. And then the assistant principal just said, don't worry about it. Just as long as you sit in there because at that time I was sitting in there and I had my headphones on. He said, as long as you sit in there without your headphones on and just sit there, then that's the least that we ask that you do. And I just said, yeah, that's fine. But he said, just go to the ISS room for the rest of class, just to get out of that class for right now. And then I'm assuming he talked to the math teacher about it. And, after that, she was fine. She didn't say anything about it because I'd take my headphones off once the bell rang and, stuff like that. But, yeah, I told the ISS teacher, because she knows me. And I had told, because she knows me, and she had asked what happened. I told her, and she said, well, do you at least know your rights? And I said, yeah, I definitely know my rights. And I told her, I said, hey, I don't want to do this. But if she pushes me too much, because I see myself as a pretty damn tolerant person, but everybody can be pushed to their limits. And I'd said, I really don't want to do this because she's a good teacher. She's a pretty decent teacher and she's a good human being. But if she pushes me too far, then I will contact the FFRF. And she's like, okay, yeah, you know your rights. I'm like, yeah. So yeah, that was the extent of that conversation.
All right. So how about part 2 of Christmas Question? Have you found Narnia?
Well, I found the books, the series that's on my bookshelf. I've got about half. Yeah, I've got that. I've got that exact same thing. I'm about halfway through. I stopped reading it several years ago. But I got about halfway through the Voyage of the Dawn Treader, which is the 5th book out of 7. And no, I intended on picking it back up a little while ago, but I just never did, mainly because of school.
Yeah. I mean, there's kind of Christian overtones, but I don't think it changes the fact that it's a well-written book series.
Yeah, I mean, because my mother's talked to me about that whole thing. I'm like, I'm like, yeah, of course, I know Aslan represents Jesus Christ, and it has all this Christian overtone to it, or Christian symbolism, as I put it. I mean, yeah, it does have that Christian symbolism in it, but it's still a really well-written book. Or series, I should say. It's great fantasy, and it's a good storyline, and hell, very good 3 movies. Wish they'd made more, but yeah, it's a really good series, and really hell of a good 3 movies that they had made.
Yeah, I really enjoyed them.
Yeah.
And I'm actually getting a lot of questions from the chat tonight. It doesn't usually happen.
Well, we've
But
also got 13 people watching, so.
that's actually about average
Oh,
for,
really?
yeah, for these interviews. I usually have about that many.
Oh, okay.
You're just feeling curious tonight. So, do you get any crap from the people at school for being an atheist?
Not for being an atheist. I did get one kid that was like, when that whole thing with the pledge, the very first day that happened, um, I got a couple of people in my class, because my very first class of the day is math, or math 4. Um, but a couple of the kids were like, "Hey, I don't really care what your political or religious views are, but you need to stand for the pledge, because it's America, it's part of America, and you need to stand for the pledge." I'm like, "No. If she's trying to tell me to either stand or get out of class, then I'm gonna stay here, because what she's trying to make me do is illegal and unconstitutional." And they're like, "Hey, why do you not stand for the pledge?" I'm like, "Because I don't agree with it. I don't agree with a lot of the pledge. I mean, if you wanted me to, I could go through the entire pledge and I could explain what I don't agree with, but I can probably just do that for a separate video on my channel." But
Yeah, it'd probably be a better space for it where you actually have the time.
yeah.
Um, but I mean, next time they try to give you shit about that, this comes from a military veteran. Tell
Mhm.
them, one, to fuck off, and two, I did not fight to force you to stand up and
Yeah.
recite something you disagree with.
Yeah.
You have a right to sit down and be silent. And
Yeah.
I fought for that. Everyone else in the military fought for that.
Mhm.
And third of all, fuck off again.
Yeah. Yeah.
That, that about sums that up,
Yeah.
The whole point of America is to not be compelled to do something like that against your will.
Yeah. Really. And it's like, how people say, well, oh well, we have "In God We Trust" on our money. We have under one nation under God. We're a Christian nation, and um our Constitution and Declaration of Independence was all founded with the good Christian Word of God. And no, bullshit. We were founded on secular principles.
Yeah, anyone that thinks that we're a Christian nation is sorely mistaken. And all you have to do is read the First Amendment of the Constitution and you're
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. I mean, I've even seen people like how I think this was, some of these Twitter compilations on YouTube, and one of them was like, we have freedom of religion, in the First Amendment, and that doesn't. Oh wait, no, it wasn't a Twitter thing; it was a news article. I'm sure that people have seen this, but how it says, freedom of religion, and then that doesn't mean that it's freedom from religion as well, but it actually does. It just doesn't say it in the Constitution, because why? Because, well, there weren't a lot of atheists at that time, and even at that time, the word atheist wasn't a word. So, if you didn't believe in God at that time, you were a deist. You weren't an atheist. So, but I'll probably do a video about that on my channel now that I've kind of brought that up.
Um, let's see. I'm not sure where this comes from, but Mark Caesar says, hey, if Bubs thinks 13 centimeters is average, then who are we to burst his bubble? I'm not sure where that comes from.
13 centimeters?
Right. I'm assuming it's penis size.
Yeah, that's what
could
I'm
be wrong, but I'm
assuming
not
too,
sure
but
where that
wait.
came from.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
I don't know. It's something else, man. But
I like what Purple Rhymes with Orange just said. If we're a Christian nation, then why does the First Amendment directly contradict the first 10 commandments?
Yeah, exactly.
Or the first of the 10 commandments? Yeah, definitely.
Oh, it's because I said 13 people being on a live stream is average. Okay, I get it.
Oh, okay.
But I still don't get the centimeters, but
yeah, I don't either.
I'm just sticking with it's a penis joke, and we'll move on from there.
Yeah.
So, do you have a particular goal in mind for your channel?
Well, I'd say, try and I'd really say if I can help anyone out of religion, like Godless Cranium, Telltale, and Genetically Modified Skeptic helped me out of religion, then I think that would be my biggest accomplishment for my channel. Yeah, I think that'd probably be my biggest achievement.
All right. Last question I really have is, what was or is the most difficult thing to get over from any of your former religious experiences? Like for example, fear of hell.
Honestly, that'd probably be it, is the fear of hell. Do I still fear hell? No. I see it as a mythology. Once we die, we go back to the same place that we were before we were born. But it's not really I shouldn't really say it's the fear of hell that took the longest for me to get over. It's the idea of hell. I mean, now I use hell and I use Lucifer and stuff like that. I use all that as a joke, pretty much. I don't, like I said, I don't see hell as a real place. I see it as part of ancient mythology, which is pretty much what Christianity is. I mean, it's 2 millennia old, and it's completely false. I think really the only thing in any, I'm not going to just say religion, but any mythology, young or old, is locations. Locations of certain places. Like Rome, or the Garden of Gethsemane, or places like that. Places that you can actually visit. Locations are real. Well, certain locations that you can actually visit are real. Like I just said, like Rome or the Garden of Gethsemane. But the stories about what happened at those places are not. And that's how I see it. But going back to hell, yeah, I don't. The idea of hell was the one thing that I took me the longest to actually get over fear-wise, even subconsciously. So, yeah. Yeah, I think that's about all I have to say about that part.
All right. And we're pretty much at the end now. And I like to start and finish all my interviews with the person I'm interviewing, introducing themselves and plugging their own channel a little bit. So you want to do that for us one more time real quick?
Yeah. Like I said at the beginning, again, I do videos mainly about science, religion, politics, and atheism and atheist activism. Again, I upload Sundays and Wednesdays on or at, not on, at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And right now, Wednesday uploads are varying due to how much homework I get, which thankfully right now hasn't been very much at all. But we'll see how the semester holds out. But yeah, other than that, it's about it really that I can think of. So
All right.
yeah.
And remind everyone of your next upcoming video on your channel.
The next upcoming video is going to be my Catholic Answers Atheism series, episode 8. Yeah, episode 8 with Frustrated Atheist. Again, that's going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I just remembered that I need to schedule both of those live streams. So I'm going to do that after this. But yeah, I'm going to be doing that. And then Wednesday, I'll be uploading a video as well. Probably actually what we just talked about with the Pledge of Allegiance and stuff like that. And doing a video about that and on Wednesday. And then part 9 will be again with Godless Iowan, except part 9, which will be on March 3rd, is going to be live at 3 p.m. instead of 4 p.m. because he's got another channel that he's going to be going on. So we had to move the episode up an hour, but it's all good. So yeah. And then part 10 will be with a special guest who I'm trying to work out with right now. So
All right. And for anyone who wants an extra dose of Bible Belt Atheist, he will be making an appearance on my channel for a series of 4 videos using the bite model to determine if the Catholic Church is a cult or not. And that will be getting uploaded Thursday. I would upload it Monday, but well, upload part 1 anyway. But I'm already going to be covering the Vatican Sex Abuse Summit that's going on this weekend. So that had to get pushed back a few days, but it will be there. So keep an eye out for his next video. Keep an eye out for the next video, or for the video he'll be appearing in on my channel. But thanks for coming on my channel and telling us a bit about yourself, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. I enjoy doing these.
Right on, man. But everyone, that's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, please leave it a like. Subscribe to my channel and BBA's if you haven't already. And speaking of BBA's channel, there it is one more time before I go back and correct my mistake of not putting it into the description.
How dare you?
I know, I fucked up. But yeah, follow us on Twitter. You'll find the links down in the description for that below as well. And yeah, that'll do it for this one. Take it easy, everybody.